Hi, it's Mark Ramsey. How important are FM chips in mobile phones? The industry loves to talk about FM chips in mobile phones. The industry hauls out surveys saying, people say if there were FM chips built into mobile phones, they would use FM radio in these devices. Fine. But the only thing that's more important than what people say they will do in the future is what people actually have done in the past. So I set out to ask the question, what have you done in the past with regard to radio on mobile devices? After all, there are plenty of mobile devices which actually feature FM radios. Have people looked for them or not? That's what I wanted to answer. So again, I work with VIP Research. Every month they ask questions for me. This past month, in the month of September, they asked questions of more than 1,000 people, ages 10 to 54. And the questions they asked were several, but here's how it started. This was the first one. When you last shopped for a mobile phone, did you specifically look for a phone that contains an FM radio or not? Simple question. If FM radio matters to you on mobile phones, did you actually use that as a means of deciding what mobile phone to buy in the past? Ever? Have you? Yes, 6%. No, 88%. Doesn't apply, 6%. Yes, 6%. No, 88%. No, 88%. 88% of the people, it's almost unanimous. Almost nobody has ever used FM radio as a means of determining what mobile phone to buy. All right, well, if they haven't, then the obvious question is, why not? Was it because you weren't looking for a phone that had radio? Or was it because the phone you actually wanted, iPhone, BlackBerry, whatever, didn't come with a radio? I wasn't looking for a phone with radio, 76%. The phone I wanted didn't have radio, 23%. 76% of the people who said, last time I went shopping for a phone, I wasn't looking for one with with FM radio. They weren't looking for one with FM radio. They didn't buy one with FM radio in large part because they weren't looking for one with FM radio. Now, if you want to create the scenario whereby people go out looking for phones that contain mobile radios, if you want to create demand, that's called what we did for HD radio. Okay? If you want to go through that again, we know how to do that. All right. Let's say you were that small percentage of people who said, yes, I did go out looking for a mobile phone. Did you actually purchase one that contains an FM radio? 68% said yes, they did. So the majority of people who went out looking for phones with FM radios actually purchased one that contains an FM radio. Interestingly, 31% said they did not. Very interesting results. And what do they mean writ large? I think what they mean writ large is that we can talk about whether or not FM chips should be installed in mobile phones for the benefit of the industry. We can talk about whether people say they'd use FM chips on mobile phones. Look, you can ask people whether they're going to use an FM radio built into their toaster, and some percentage are going to say yes. That doesn't mean that people are going to go out to buy a toaster that contains an FM radio. We have to understand this fact. FM radio largely is viewed as a utility which is easily accessible in any number of places. I don't need it on my mobile phone. I don't look for it on my mobile phone. And right now, I don't use it as a basis to buy a mobile phone. So the question for you as broadcasters is not, how do we get an FM chip on a mobile phone, but what can you do as broadcasters on a mobile device using the assets available to you from a digital standpoint to provide experiences consumers want, consumers are attracted to, and consumers will seek out. How do you do that? It's way more important than whether or not your mobile phone gets FM.